What's up, y'all? Raven Luv-Art here with Strength and Healing, where you will learn about narcissistic abuse, tools to understand your own past traumas, and most importantly, how to heal from it all. In this episode, we will continue to learn how to set healthy boundaries that free us, to protect our amazing personality and build up our proper defenses for our everyday life and relationships. We will also learn more about certain boundary problems, how we can face our fears to improve them, and what we must do in order to begin creating healthy boundaries. Setting boundaries and separating ourselves protects love because it means that we are taking a stand against things and people that destroy love. We need to set our own internal boundaries to figure out our identity, who we are, which will also help us gain responsibility, ownership, and self-control. We lack in setting our internal boundaries when we don't face our fears. The Baltimore Ravens' second head coach, Brian Billick, once said during the 2000 NFL playoffs, "Folks, when you go into the lion's den, you don't tippy-toe in. You carry a spear, you go in screaming like a banshee, you kick whatever door's in, and you say, 'Where's the son of a bitch?' If you go in any other way, you're gonna lose." That gave you chills, huh? It gave me chills when I first heard it. Because there is no better way to face our fears than to go in screaming like we're ready to fight for our life. Because ultimately, it is exactly what we're doing. We're fighting for our survival no matter from who or what. This metaphorical lion is our narcissist. "Where's the son of a gun? I am ready." That's what we should be telling ourselves. No one wants to get thrown into that den, but if there's no escaping it, you have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain by reclaiming our power and enforcing healthy boundaries for our own inner survival. Not confronting our fears denies the grace of God and insults both His giving of the gift and His grace to sustain us as we are continuously learning. So why do some of us have boundary problems? Why do some of us seem to have natural boundaries and others none at all? Along with many other things, it has a lot to do with the family in which we grew up in. Those of us whose parents withdraw when we begin to set limits learn to develop our compliant, loving, sensitive parts of ourselves. We start to become highly empathetic, and at the same time, we learn to hate our aggressive, truth-telling, and separate side of us. If someone we love pulls away when they get angry or bad-tempered, we learn to hide that side of ourselves very well. When our parents pull away when they are hurt, disappointed, or enraged, they are sending us this message: you are only lovable when you behave. You are not lovable when you don't behave. As a child, we translate that message like this: when I am good, I am loved. When I am bad, I'm cut off. We have to constantly remind ourselves that it was not our fault to receive these incorrect, unhealthy messages, and that we are, in fact, always lovable, no matter what. Parents who pull away from their children are generally practicing spiritual and emotional blackmail. It is never okay for parents to make their children responsible for their emotional well-being or any state of being. It is essentially their job to be responsible for our overall well-being, no matter who we are, no matter if they like it or not. We all have a God-given gift to be who we really are and be fully supported and unconditionally loved by our parents, caregivers. We are allowed to set limits and healthy boundaries for ourselves, even if others won't like it. We are not responsible for how others react and feel. Always remind yourself of this: I am responsible for one and only one person, myself. I am a lovable, worthy human being, and I will protect myself from anyone and anything that tries to prove otherwise. Beginning our journey of healing and creating healthy boundaries is not an easy path. I was once explained that it's a path that has not been paved before. There are two paths in front of us. One is the path that is already paved and thousands of people have gone through. The other is a forest, the unknown, the path we have to pave ourselves as we learn and go. No one wants to take that path because it means we have to do all the work ourselves. move the trees, lift the heavy branches, clean up the dirt, lay down fresh pavement, sweat, and cry with no help. No one wants to do the work, so they choose the paved path. The choice is only ours to make. With that being said, there are 3 things that are involved when beginning to create healthy boundaries. We must be aware of and own our own thoughts. Many of us haven't taken ownership of our own thinking process. We are unconsciously thinking the thoughts of others without ever examining them. We have to sharpen each other like iron, but still be separate thinkers. We must grow in knowledge and expand our minds. I once heard an amazing quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. Everything we experience cannot be undone, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Why? Because it means we're growing. It means we're learning and evolving. Every experience we've had is there to help us learn and form a better future for ourselves. We must correct our twisted ways of thinking. We all have a tendency to not see things clearly, to think and have a distorted perspective. We have to allow ourselves to keep learning and healing by not letting our distorted thoughts make us give up on the path we're creating for our future. In the next episode, we'll be going over what I like to call Anecdote Friday, where we will learn about a young girl named Cora Holland and expose the abuse she suffered to help empower others to break their silence. We're not alone. We never were. With all that said, thanks for listening. Please subscribe if you haven't. Stay tuned and stay strong out there, survivors. As always, strength and healing. Peace and love.